All right, you guys, we can put our questions in the chat for Emmanuel Sanders.
I need a haircut.
Let's want some Amy Just. I guess, how long has it been since you've had a haircut?
Going on 2 weeks. Probably the longest I've been. But it's okay. I'm in grind mode right now.
Football follow-up question to that. You've played in some really talented divisions over your career. So you know what it takes to win a tough division. The Saints won 4 straight here with the win last week, but no team has ever swept the South. I guess, how tough is that to do? Just knowing that the games are played for a reason, and sometimes bad teams have good weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. But is it attainable? Yeah. And we'll see this Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot at stake, right? If we win, and Green Bay loses, and Seattle wins, then we get a first round bye, and regardless, we get the number 2 seed in 2 home games. If we win as well, and so we're playing for a lot. But I'm looking forward to it, and with a win, I guess it'll go another notch on Sean Payton and Drew Brees' belt, right? Of sweeping the NFC South, and it's something that it's my first year in this division, but to accomplish that feat, that's big.
Next one's from Amos Morale.
Yeah, you talked about kind of still having a lot to play for. Does that make it easier, I guess, to kind of, it's been a long season with everything you guys have had to deal with, but having a lot to still play for, does it make it kind of easier to stay, like you said, in grind mode and locked in as you hit this final game?
Of course, but at the end of the day, we all want a Super Bowl, and so at some point, your body gets tired and your mind gets tired, and you're doing the same things over and over, and it's pressure with the situation, and expectations are high, but this is what you play football for. At least that's what I play for, and we got an opportunity to win it all, and so I'm definitely in grind mode, mentally, physically, all the time, because I'm in year 11. I don't know how many opportunities I'll get to go to another Super Bowl, and to be on a Super Bowl caliber team, it's a blessing, so I'm trying to take advantage of it.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Emmanuel, last couple of weeks you've hit on a couple of those shot plays, downfield plays. Why do you think you come open on those? What makes you good at those, in your words?
I think it's just a good play call, and good execution. We work it at practice, and it's something that I've done. Like when I played in college, I was a slot receiver, so I really didn't catch the ball down the field too much. But that's something that I remember Mike Tomlin telling me that I had to add that to my game in order for me to really take off and have 1,000-yard seasons. So I started working on my deep game, catching more deep balls, and it feels good to see it all pay off.
Sean Payton was saying part of that was you and your ability to kind of recognize coverage on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
So how would you explain that? Is it just is it noticing that stuff just when you're on the field to know where to break your routes off and all that stuff?
Yeah, so my coach, Curtis Johnson, he always tells, all the guys in the room, he say, play with your eyes, right? And a lot of times the guys are running with their head down, and they're thinking, they're overthinking. But CJ always tells us, play with our eyes, because once that ball snaps, you're going to see the DB, you're going to see the look in his eyes. You try to notice everything that's going on that particular play. It's crazy because on all my deep balls, I can envision exactly all the moving pieces that was moving around and exactly where I needed to fit in order for Taysom to give me the ball, Drew to give me the ball. I still remember that because I try to play with my eyes, to try to keep my eyes up and notice the DB, the cornerback, the safety, the linebacker. I try to notice if somebody's running by me. I try to hear the footsteps. I try to just go through that, and that's why I like playing here as well, because the walkthroughs kind of help me with that as well. in terms of allowing me to see it and really get, play with my eyes and play with my body and get a feel for the game.
Next one's from Brent Martell.
Hey, Emmanuel. Wondering if you can just reflect on how the season has gone, specifically in terms of having kind of signed up to play for a certain offense that would, feature Drew Brees and have Michael Thomas out there in the field with you. It hasn't always worked out that way, but it seems like you've been able to influence results, and results have been good in the season as a whole. So.
Yeah, but even with all that though, we're still sitting here with an opportunity to get the number 1 seed, with an opportunity to get 2 home playoff games, and so, that's the one thing I tell my wife all the time is about expectations. Sometimes expectations, aren't good for the both of us, and so I know that the media had expectations. Man, Sanders, Michael Thomas getting together. It's going to be a crazy year passing, Drew Brees, this and that. But at the end of the day, we're still sitting exactly where we wanted to be. Obviously, we want to be better and not having to worry about nobody. But we still clinched the playoffs, still clinched the division, and we got everything ahead of us that we want to attain. And so sometimes, it's not about, they say it's about the journey, but sometimes it's about the destination at the end of the day, and so we were able to get to our destination.
When you talk about it being a blessing to be on a Super Bowl caliber team, I mean, it looks like you've been to 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams, right? And you're trying to make it a 4th here.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that's just pure luck and coincidence, or do you feel like you'd like to think you've had some kind of influence on
Nah, man. I don't have anything. I just think I just position myself on good teams, right? You play long enough in this league. I was fortunate enough in 2010 to be on the Super Bowl team, and we didn't win it all, but just to see all the pieces and exactly what was going on. And if you pay attention to football, you'll know. Like once you hit free agency, you'll know that it's probably like 4 or 5 teams at the end of like even at the beginning of the season that got a legit shot at winning a Super Bowl. And so, I've always looked at it from that situation. Not more so the money. Obviously, the money had to be okay because I'm trying to be financially stable. At the end of the day, but it was also about winning and happy because I know me, like I hate to lose, and so I've always turned down more money in free agency just to go to a better team or position myself just so that I can be, on a Super Bowl winning team. And, I did it, when I left the Steelers in free agency, I turned down teams like Jacksonville, Tampa Bay. I turned down Kansas City and, ended up choosing Denver because I thought that was the team that was going to win it. And then, I got this year, I turned down, Buffalo and obviously Green Bay's. They're playing really well, but I feel like this year in free agency was probably my best year in terms of, like, I had all good teams. I had all good teams that was looking for me to be there, but it was just really about my happiness. And I've always loved Drew Brees and Sean Payton growing up in Houston, right down the street. And so I said, why not get an opportunity to learn from these guys and play with these guys?
Next one's from Amy Dress.
Yeah, I asked you this last week on the young receivers. You said, just all about reps and, just having them not worry about it. How did you feel that they played last week?
Oh, they played well. Marquez Callaway, I'm telling you guys better remember his name. I got a feeling if the guy stays healthy, he's going to be a special player in this league. And he's not even close to hitting his peak. He's going to hit it because it's just based off how he's built. Like, good, humble kid, want to work hard. And he's a guy, man, who, they're not talking. They say it's a good rookie receiving class. Nobody's talking about him, but I mean, this guy is a player. And when I go into games and I look across, I know that he's gonna make some plays. And he's a special rookie. And then Juwan, he came in and he made a catch, and AC made a catch. Yeah, his foot was out. Could have been a touchdown, but his foot was out. And I just feel like we all contributed to the win, and so it feels good. I know those guys feel good as well.
Next one's from Catherine Terrell.
You were talking about Curtis Johnson earlier. What's it been like to play for CJ this year?
At first we started off, The first probably hour we start off a little rough because CJ, he got a big personality. He gonna test you. So I didn't know he was testing me, but he tested me just testing my manhood a little bit. So I had to bow my chest up a little bit, and after that, probably like 2 days after that, I started to see, man, CJ is just a good dude. Like, I enjoy, like, on Saturdays we come into work and he'll have sermons up and he'll give us like a 10-minute sermon, about the Bible and about, the Holy Trinity and just everything. And I really enjoy spending time with him. I love that dude, man. He's taught me so much, and he's one of those guys who, like, even if I have a question about family, like anything, right? CJ's he's pretty much done it all and seen it all, and so I always like to go to him for advice and certain things. I always tell him, like, he's rarely wrong about anything, and he's just one of them guys I know. Like, even at 1 o'clock at night time, I could pick up the phone, call CJ, he'll be there, and so he's a special coach, and I've enjoyed my time with him.
I think that's a running theme, by the way. I think he and Michael Thomas didn't get along, like, at their first meeting either.
Yeah.
Did not get along. But,
Yeah. That's how it goes with CJ. He's gonna test you a little bit, but he's gonna bring the best out of you as well.
Manuel, you guys have had to basically put a Band-Aid on the team pretty much every week this year. Guy, man up after man up, next man up mentality, all that stuff. Going into the playoffs, maybe a little bit banged up. What does it say about the resiliency of this team, this locker room, that week after week you guys have proven your depth and been able to make it this far?
Yeah, at the end of the day, when you look at the roster, I've always said we had depth, but I didn't think that we had depth in terms of in the receiving room. I'm speaking specifically in terms of what we got, and then Traquan goes down, Mike goes down, and next thing you know, a new guy, Marquez Callaway, pops up on the scene, right? And he's showcasing his talent, and his team is just resilient. But one thing I cannot take credit away from him, and it's just Sean Payton in the way that he's been coaching. This guy is bringing the best out of his players, and week in and week out, he puts us in position to win games. Whether if Drew's not out, whether if Drew's playing and none of the receivers are playing, he's calling plays, he's making plays, and not only that, like offensively, I'm speaking, Alvin Kamara has been having just a crazy year for us and been carrying the load. And I just feel like we've all taken our turns and made our plays, and therefore we sitting here in a position, like I said, with 2 home games on the line and the #1 seed.
Thanks.
Last one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, following up to that, how, I guess, fun may not be the right word, but how, I guess, cool is it to watch Sean Payton be creative when he doesn't have Drew Brees and y'all have used 6 different offensive line starting lineups and having to get creative with just the personnel that you have?
Listen, we talk about a coach who was doing the gritty with Jordan 11s on, right? One thing about Sean Payton is, from a confidence standpoint, he's probably the most confident coach I've been a part of, and as he should, because he pretty much, he's been doing it a long time. He's a great coach, and and like I said, in my opinion, Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame coach. At some point he should be off in there, and I've been enjoying my time with him, and it's just not even on the football field, even off the football field, just talking with him and cracking jokes with him. I've enjoyed my time with him, and he's a legend in my eyes.
All right, we're all set. Thanks, Emmanuel.
All right, see you.
All right, you guys, we can go ahead and put questions in the chat and we'll get going. First one from Luke Johnson.
Hey, PJ, I'm curious if there's like a point in the season where you can kind of look and see where you guys really started turning it around and playing the kind of defense you kind of knew you were capable of.
I'm not sure which game, but it was definitely going into like the second quarter, maybe after the first 3-4 games, where we pretty much we knew what we were capable of, just going out there and not really playing up to our standards, and a lot of little things which we talked about at the beginning of the season that we needed to fix, which we definitely slowly started to fix, and going from not playing as well to being one of the top defenses. So we it had to be around right after the first quarter of the season.
And I know I remember hearing a lot of you guys, I mean, maybe for the last couple of years, saying like one of your goals is to be a top 5 defense, and now that's like within reach. Does that even register with you guys, or at this point are you just so focused on what's coming that it doesn't really matter if you're top 5, top 10?
Yeah, no, mainly for us is just winning games, going into the playoffs and putting ourselves in the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. That's great being the top 5 defense, but at the end of the day, we're trying to put ourselves in the best position as possible to get to the Super Bowl.
Next one's from John DeSager.
How you doing, PJ?
Good.
Do you almost feel like you've epitomized this team this season from the standpoint of different people having to step forward?
What was that? I can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you almost feel like you epitomized this team this season from the standpoint of different people having to step in, and you guys still being able to manufacture ways to win?
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. We always have that next man up mentality. So I feel like offensively and defensively, that's our mindset. And then, like that always been our mindset here. Even with COVID, that like even more this year, just knowing it's an opportunity for somebody to go down and be out for a week or so. So that's definitely our mindset, and even more this year.
Is it easier for you to stay ready knowing that you're in the rotation and you're probably going to play either as a starter or you're going to get a lot of snaps?
Oh yeah, I just feel like even if I'm not in the rotation or not starting, I'll be making sure I'm preparing like a starter. They coach us up big on making sure we're preparing like a starter, but and then also just me just playing in different places, I definitely got to stay ready, so you got to be on point.
Next one's from Amos Morale.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, kind of following up on that, has it surprised you at all that with just the depth that you guys do have? I know on paper, obviously, it looked like you guys are pretty deep, but, it doesn't seem like you guys miss a beat when anybody's out. Does it surprise you at all? Oh,
not at all, not at all. We know the depth we have and know the players we have, so we know pretty much everyone in our secondary and on our defense can play, so it doesn't surprise us at all. And even on offense, seeing the practice squad guys every day in camp and stuff like that, and then them going in the game and stepping up and making an impact, so not at all.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, speaking of impact guys, Quan Alexander went down last week. How much has he meant to this team in, the 7 games that he was with y'all?
Oh, he meant a lot, man. He brought a lot to our secondary, man. He was a dog. He loved the game, and he played fast and physical, and we loved that. But we definitely got guys that we know that's going to step up and take advantage of the opportunity. So, but he definitely meant a lot to us.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
PJ, how big of a role does Malcolm play for y'all? Malcolm Jenkins, just down like by the box, and making plays behind the line of scrimmage, sacking the quarterback, that sort of thing.
Oh yes, it's a big role, man. He plays pretty much in every single package, and plays like 100% of the snaps. So The coaches trust him, we trust him, and just to go make the plays that he makes is just big for us because a lot of people can't make those plays. So, man, just overall, his play and his knowledge of the game helps us a lot.
What kind of goes into that, like just a defensive back being able to play, that physical kind of game? Like what does he need to have in order to do that?
A lot has to do with just being smart, knowing when you can trigger and go make those plays, and knowing the system of our defense and knowing what the offense is giving you. So just being smart and then having a knack for making plays, that's also a big thing.
Next one's from John DeSager.
PJ, at this time last year, I think you hadn't played safety since like high school or something. Now that you had this much time in it, do you feel more comfortable there than you do at slot or nickel, or how's that going for you?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, last year was like first time playing for a long time, so this year I feel a whole lot more comfortable at safety, getting a lot of practice reps and then some game reps, and then just last game playing the whole game. So it's definitely a lot more comfortable, but you just got to make that transition when you're going from one position to the next, as far as your eye discipline and knowing the things you need to know to be able to be successful.
Next one's from Jared Joseph.
Hey, PJ, the last game y'all played against the Panthers, y'all got away with a 3-point win, but what's the biggest change you're looking to have this time around? As far as which y'all allow with yardage and points, what's the biggest improvement you're looking for?
I'm pretty sure we had a few bad penalties that last game we played them, and then we had a busted coverage when they threw it over the top on us, and at this point we wanted the best teams at not giving up explosive plays. So that's going to be big coming in this game, not giving up those explosive plays, and just a lot of little things. That was early in the season when we were a little shaky and not playing to our standards. So it's definitely definitely looking for it to be a whole different game.
Okay, we're all set. Thank you, PJ.
All right.
All right, Teron, first question's from Doug Mouton.
Dude, I apologize. Mackenzie, I had to jump off. Can you give me permission to record real quick?
Yep, I gotcha.
All right, sorry, Teron. I apologize for that.
All good, all good.
Look, you guys, the rushing numbers this year are significantly better. I mean, significantly better than they've been the last few years, and it's a lot of the same personnel. What do you attribute as the biggest difference? It's got to be more than just a commitment to doing it, right? I mean, what are you guys doing better this year, just running the ball, than you have maybe over the last 2 or 3 years?
I mean, definitely that commitment to doing it that's a big part of it. Execution, you know, being more sound with our alignments, executing better for a number of reasons. And it's something that we have to continue to do. That's a part of our game, a part of our makeup. So we're looking to be successful going into this week and into the postseason. That's extremely important for us.
Is it one of those things where it sort of feeds on itself? That once, I mean, I counted in this last game, you had 15 runs of 7 yards or more, which is absurd. Like, is it one of those things where once it gets going, it feeds on itself?
Yeah, I mean, run game, it's a lot of different variables that goes into being able to, you know, sustain a run game. If you get behind early, it's kind of hard to do that. Third down, you're not converting on third down. It's kind of hard to have those rushing attempts. So it's a lot of variables that go into that. So our job is to, when we get those opportunities, try to make the best of them, the most of them, to try to encourage coach to keep calling them.
Next one's from John DeSager.
Ron, almost a week removed from the Christmas Day game, but you know, obviously a dominant performance by you. Coach Payton said it was probably one of your better games in the last several years. How would you rate your game Christmas Day?
I think I did some things well. Had some impact blocks, but still some areas of improvement for sure. Things that I want to clean up and get better at. And that's the goal going into this week and into the playoffs. I think everybody, we just got to be fully committed. Our mindset got to be, you know, focusing on dominating and taking over games. So that's what we're looking to do on a weekly basis. So myself, I got a ton of things to improve on and get better at, and I'm gonna do everything I can to do that.
How much of an adrenaline rush was it for you to have, you know, your teammates, you know, hyped up the way they were with the way you were playing?
It's great. It's great. You know, that energy. That's what we feed off that energy. And so however we can create that and keep that going, that momentum, that it's huge for us. It's huge for us. So that's something that I always try to bring that energy, that excitement, having fun out there, really. You know, it's a game, so we're out there just trying to have the most fun, and it's always fun when you win it.
Next one's from Amos Moran.
What have you seen from that Carolina defense? How have they maybe grown or changed since the first matchup you guys played them this year?
They play fast. They play really fast, and they take the ball away. And that's always a key attribute of a good defense. You know, you getting your hands on the ball, you getting the ball back to your offense. That's the signs of a good defense. So those guys play extremely hard, extremely fast, and we got to do a great job of protecting the ball.
Obviously, a lot of young guys. Have you seen them kind of mature as you know you look at them on film? Yeah. The first round pick, the D tackle Brown, he's an exceptional player. You know, you can see how he's progressed. Burns, I think Burns is a really good player too. He's a phenomenal player. A lot of speed, athleticism. No, I mean, as a collective defense, those guys, like I said, they play hard, they play fast, and they create turnovers.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, both Easton and Pete were full participants in practice today, so that's obviously good news. But when y'all can play 6 different starting lineups and still play as dominantly as you have been this season, just how beneficial is that for y'all, just knowing there isn't much of a drop-off between the first starting lineup to the 6th one?
Yeah, man, I think our depth is incredible. honestly. Just looking at the guys that we have sitting, they can all start. And unfortunately, at times with injuries or COVID or whatever, those guys had to come in, and they've been great. Haven't missed a beat, and it's not by accident. These guys put the work in, put the time in. So I think our depth is incredible, and front office does a really great job of bringing in the right people.
Yeah, with James Hurst specifically, I mean, he played a couple games for you and then played at guard last week. How beneficial has his versatility been specifically?
James is great. Not even just as a player, like James in the locker room, the experience he brings, the knowledge he brings. James is exceptional in meetings, film study. He's great at picking up keys and small little details, which is extremely beneficial. But him on the field, he's a exceptional player in Baltimore, and he's been nothing but great for us since he stepped in the door.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
All right, Teron, two-parter here. First, did AK get you guys anything special after y'all hooked him up with a huge game?
No, man, we just doing our job. We just doing our job. He doing his.
Yeah, okay. Maybe like a late Christmas present in a way. Second thing, look, do you take any satisfaction in playing that type of?
I miss.
Sorry, Dad. Somebody rang the doorbell. My dogs are going crazy.
Okay.
Do you take any satisfaction in playing that dominant of a physical game, week 16 for you, especially just knowing that you've dealt with injuries in the past, and it looks like you're healthy out there right now, playing a big game at the right time of year?
Just trying to win, man. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. Just trying to win. So anything that I can do to create, and it's just always a great feeling when your running back comes off your block. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that at all. Like being the one that the running back he hits right where you just misplace the guy. That's a great feeling for sure. And you see somebody like AK take it 60 at any moment. So you want to be that guy to create that lane. And all five of us, or six, if we in jumbo, all six of us are trying to be that one to create that lane. And just that excitement, having fun, and that will to win has been big for us. And we have to maybe even turn it up some more these last several weeks.
Next one's from Brett Martell.
Hey, Teron. What have been your impressions of Emmanuel Sanders' influence on the team and its success this season? I know it hasn't always been statistical, but maybe in other ways.
I'm a huge Emmanuel Sanders fan. Huge. Like, the guy he's great. Like, I sit back and watch his routes. Like, the way that he goes about his business. He's extremely professional. He hasn't always had the big numbers week in and week out, but that's never a problem. He's a guy that's had a ton of success in his career and has been the number one in, several seasons. So I'm a huge fan of Emmanuel. Love what he brings to the team, him as a person, as a player. We're the Saints, we're blessed to have him.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Teron, I apologize if I asked you about this in the last couple of weeks, but how big a role do Coach Dan and Nugent play in the continuity you guys have had, and how would you kind of compare and contrast their styles as coaches?
Yeah, just speaking on that depth, a lot of that is in development, and that's coaching. The way that they are extremely detailed and know what they want to see from us, and just try to make sure we go put our best foot forward every week. Never take a game for granted or a rep for granted. And that's hard to do over a course of a season. So, having two coaches that stay on you about that is extremely beneficial for us. Their styles are different. Dan is he likes to take things a lot slower, long meetings, repetitive, but he's ingraining. He's ingraining. Nuge more so on the field, walk through, things like that. Dan is sitting meetings for hours, bro. If he can keep us in for an hour, Dan will do that. So, me, like, I've been in the same offense for a while now, bro. I gotta go to the bathroom or something. I gotta get out of here.
Next one's from Ed Daniels.
Hey, T, can you speak to how big getting the bye would be? And do you think that knowing how beat up you guys were last year around this time, that contributed to what happened in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean the bye is huge. The bye is definitely that's huge. You know, you're taking away a game, and it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, it could be your last one. So it's not like the NBA series. You got 7 games, and most likely the best team would advance. Like this is one day you get a couple turnovers, you never know. So just having that one less game, that's huge. Resting up, getting everybody back healthy. We're missing the offensive player of the year, so having another week for him, that'd be great, and other guys as well. So the bye is a big deal, but we can't control that, unfortunately. So what we got to do is get ready to go.
Last one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw all of the praise that you were getting on social media, excuse me, for, quote, blocking guys to the concession stand, as Ryan Kramchek called it. How cool was that for you, just like knowing that, yeah, offensive linemen don't always get the accolades and the praise for the work that they do?
For sure. We play a thankless position most of the time. A lot of the love we get is from inside the building, the players, running backs, quarterbacks. Most of the time we get our name called for holding or giving up a sack and all that good stuff or bad stuff. But that was great. It was great to get some love on some blocks. But it's all about winning. It's all about winning and creating. Trying to create lanes for AK, Latavius. Those guys don't need much. They don't. So the more we can do, the better.
Needless to say, you had fun on Friday?
Oh yeah, I had a great time. Merry Christmas.
All right, we're all set. Appreciate it, Ron.
Thank you.